Okay, we're going to make a video. This video will demonstrate how you can install Paraview 15.11 on Rocky Linux 9.1. We'll take a look at a few steps that we're going to do to get this accomplished. Real quickly, we're starting with a fresh install of Rocky Linux 9.1. I'm actually logged into a terminal session. And what we're going to do first is we're going to make sure that the system is updated, and then we'll reboot the system. I put some software on called GNOME tweaks all the time as soon as I bring the machines up now. That gives me the minimize and the maximize buttons on the Windows. And then I also, one of the first things I do is I install the epel-release. That's the extra packages for Enterprise Linux. And then I used to install powertools. What replaces powertools is the same thing, but it's called something different, CodeReady Linux Builder. And then we're going to install the prerequisites. There's two sets of prerequisites that are going to install. There's a set that is pretty much the same as what you're recommended to install from the GitHub instructions, but I do a little bit more of a global install. Maybe a little bit of overkill, but it worked, so I'm going to keep doing what works. And then we do the install that they recommend from the GitHub page, and that goes pretty quick because by the time I run my install, there's very little left to install. Then there's some instructions on how to download the software we need in order to build the package. And then we go ahead and we build the package. Once we do that, then we'll just go ahead and test the package and see if it works. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. So as I said, the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to type sudo dnf-y. What the -y does is it says say yes to all the prompts, update, and then we go ahead and hit enter. And then it asks for my password. I'll try that again. There we go. And it's going ahead and it's doing an install. So this is going to take a while. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the recording and then come back after this is finished, and we'll reboot the machine. Okay, the updates have completed, and we are going to reboot the machine. So you can either type init 6 or you can type reboot. And we'll go ahead and do that. And as I said, I'm logged into a terminal session. I'm actually remote here. So okay, so I actually have to do a sudo reboot. That's what, okay, so we'll go ahead and reboot. And our machine will go ahead and restart. And we'll see if we start getting a ping back. We'll give it a second. Okay, there we're getting a ping. Let's go ahead and see if we can log in. Okay. Okay, now we're back in. Since I'm logging in with a terminal, I'm going to skip the GNOME tweets that I said I usually log in. If I was actually on that particular desktop, I might actually run that. So one of the things we need to do is we need to install the extra packages for Enterprise Linux. So I'll do the sudo again, install, D and F -y, just answer all the prompts yes, install, epel-release, and not sure what's going on there, but okay. Okie dokie, so that's good. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to enable the CodeReady Linux Builder repository, and the CodeReady Linux repository sits inside the Rocky repo repository file, but is disabled, so we'll enable that. And config manager, and 2 dashes, enable CRB. Okay, so we just enabled that. And then, so now we're going to install a bunch of packages. Now this is, I'm going to copy and paste this, and I'll try and put these, all of these commands in the description below on the YouTube channel. So what we're going to do now is we're going to install a bunch of prerequisites, other prerequisites, and we're going to put them all in this one statement here. And we'll hit, and notice I didn't have to type my password in when I ran the sudo command this time, because I'm running it close enough in time. I think it's like 2 minutes. And if you run another sudo command within the appropriate time period, excuse me, you don't have to type your password in for the sudo command. But if you're away from your computer for a little bit of time, next time you run it, you do have to run the sudo command. Okay, so this one's going to take a little while. And in order to not make the video too long, I'm going to actually go ahead and pause this video, and we'll restart the video after these finish. Okay. Okay, we finished with that install. And just a heads up, that one takes a little while. The next install we're going to do is, this is straight from the instructions that come from the get page. When I say get, that's GIT page for installing Paraview. And so I'm going to paste that one in. And this is a big, long one, so you'd think it would take a long time. But actually, because of the one that we did previously, where I did the global install with the asterisks behind the names, this one will actually run pretty quick. So let's go ahead and do it real quick. Take me longer to talk about it than it will to install it. Okay, so there's just 2 little things it had to install. Okay, so we're pretty well done with all of our actual installation stuff we had to do in terms of prerequisites. And now we're going to go ahead and start the process of setting up and building the application. So first thing we have that the instructions tell us to do is to set a set an alias. So we're going to copy and paste that alias in. So that's the alias we're going to set. And then we're also going to add a directory into the path. Now the path is what is used to hold the binaries or the programs that execute. So we're going to go ahead and put that in. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to, let me make sure I'm in my home directory, good. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go and get the software in order to build the Paraview package. And we do this with the git command, the git command. And that's what it looks like. And we'll go ahead and hit enter and it will start downloading this. So again, this one will take a few minutes to download. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause the video and we'll come back when this finishes. Okay, we're back. So the git command downloaded all of the stuff we needed to obtain in order to build the Paraview program. And so if I come in here and I type ls, that'll show me the files and directories, and you'll see there's a new directory here called Paraview. And under that Paraview directory is all of the stuff we need to build the program. Okay. So now what we're going to do is again following the directions from the get page, we're going to make a directory, and we're going to call this directory Paraview build. And then we're going to do a change directory into that Paraview build directory. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to basically build the all of the programs and callable modules, etc., that are in that Paraview directory that we downloaded with the git command. We're basically running a make file. They call it cmake, so it's a little bit different, I guess. But so we're going to run this command here, and this is going to build the foundation of what we need for the Paraview program. So I'll go ahead and hit enter, and this thing will start. And again, this one's going to run for a while, and so rather than sit here for quite a while watching lines go by, we're going to again pause the video and come back when this is finished. Okay, we're back again, and so the foundation has been compiled, and the program that's going to put everything together to make an executable binary is something called the Ninja program. And so we will go ahead and run this Ninja, and this one takes quite a while. So we'll get it started, and then we're going to again pause this, and then we'll come back and see if we have an executable that's going to run. Okay, so we're back, and the Ninja process successfully built the Paraview software, at least we hope it did. So we're actually going to go ahead and try to run the Paraview program, and you can see that the executable from the last line on this on these messages say that we should find the executable in bin/Paraview. So let's see what happens if we try and run that. Okay, so let me see if I can get that down a little bit. So yeah, this is the Paraview program, and so that's great. It looks like it runs, and I can probably scrunch it up a little bit. There we go. So here's the Paraview program fired up and ran. So so right now it's successfully installed, and it installed under the user's directory there. So that shows that we can install it. And I'll probably make another video trying to put it somewhere so that everybody can run it, because right now it's just under a user's directory. But that shows that we can run it, and once we've got it to this point, I'm pretty sure we can move it over somewhere that it can be universally accessed by all the users. Okay, so I hope this was helpful, and thanks for listening. Okay, we've built the Paraview program in a previous video, and we're just going to add this video on to the video that we used to build the Paraview program. So what we're going to do now is we're going to set Paraview up so that other users can run Paraview. So if you remember, we built the Paraview program inside this directory called Paraview build. In fact, if we type Paraview, if we type Paraview build bin, that's the actual program right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this over to the /op directory where third-party software is usually kept. And so we're going to do sudo cp-r paraview _build /opt. We're actually going to rename the directory to Paraview -5.11 because that's the version that we installed. And I'm actually going to put a little V next to the R so I can see what it does. There's the files it's copying. I had checked, it's about 1.8 gig. That's not too bad. Now I'm going to go to cd/user/local/bin. This is where a lot of times third-party software goes, and oftentimes it's pointers over to that /op directory. So what we're going to do is we'll say sudo ln-s, because it'll be a symbolic link, /opt /paraview -5.11 bin paraview. Okay, and then we'll do an ls-l. Okay, and there's the symbolic link over to Paraview. And so now I'm going to do a change directory to my home directory. And if I say which Paraview, okay, so it sees that Paraview program, and I'll type Paraview. Okay, so there it starts up and it runs. That looks good. So we're going to do something here. We're going to do sudo user add test. Okay, sudo password test. And we'll give ourselves a password of test. Okay, didn't like the password, but it updated it. And I'm going to actually exit out. I'm going to reconnect to the machine, but this time with the ID test. Put my password test in here. Okay, and then here I'll type Paraview and see if it works. Okay, it worked. Of course, the settings, the screen settings aren't set like it was on the other ID where we ran it, but I can always scrunch that down, and I'll close that splash page, and there you see it. So it runs with another ID. So that's cool. Okay, again, thank you for listening, and I hope this is helpful.